JC here again for retirecheap.asia. Well, one of my viewers from YouTube channels, and then also a person that became a member of the membership site, is my friend David. David's here from, where do you live over in the States?
Idaho.
Idaho, wow.
Yep.
Same weather that we have here in Thailand,
Oh, yeah,
right?
identical.
Yeah, identical. And a lot of snow. And, so anyway, David has come over, and how long have you been here now?
I've been here just over 2 weeks.
Over 2 weeks.
Yep.
And how long had you planned on coming over?
I've been planning for the last 5 or 6 months. Basically, when I found your YouTube channels, that was pretty much the driving force for me to come to Thailand and to Chiang Mai.
And we talked on the phone before you came over.
We talked a few times on the phone.
And you bought the survival kit?
I bought the survival kit, which definitely came in handy, having the Thai bot, the maps, the SIM card included. Plus the bonus that you have in there, which is really came in handy.
Good. We won't say what the bonus was. It's a surprise. But and now with the SIM card, were you able to make calls back home okay?
Yeah, for about 3 or 4 cents a minute. I'm calling the U.S.
Well, good. I'm glad it was helpful. You know, that's the idea, is to give you some resources to be able to hit the ground running, so to speak.
Yep.
And so I want to talk a little bit about your experience once you came over. It is a long trip to get over. But once you got over here and you started to experience the culture, the people, the prices of things. Now, I mentioned this to you before. If you're coming from someplace back home, or a situation that is sort of undesirable, or it's not so good, or you don't have a lot of money, and you come over here, it could be a real step up in somebody's life as far as being able to socialize, being able to have more money at the end of the month than they had before. But if somebody's in a really good situation back home and they're making a good amount of money, and they've got a good place to live, and they're just looking maybe for an alternative place to retire or to semi-retire at an earlier age, that's the scenario that sort of fits in with you. And so, it isn't exactly the same. I know they say, I have a little saying here, it's same, but different. Right. We see that on t-shirts here, same, but different. And it is, there are a lot of things that are same, but there are a lot of things that are different. So I want to get your opinion, and I want you to share it with other people about how you've been adjusting to the lifestyle here as compared to your active lifestyle back home. Because here it's like you don't have to jump up and go to work.
Yeah, exactly.
And so how has this worked out for you?
Well, when I got here, there wasn't culture shock. There was massive culture adjustment for me, though. Massive. I've been here 2 weeks. I finally got the nerve to rent a motorbike just 2 days ago. It took me that long to get the nerve. And it's easy now, it's fine. Getting around is another story, but there's always a GPS. But
yeah, GPS. Yeah, we have phones with GPS now. It makes it easy.
Yeah. No. Getting adjusted. It took me a little while to do that. Things are definitely different here. Things aren't necessarily better overall. They're different. But I've noticed that the people are friendlier here. And like you've said in other videos, it's easier to talk to strangers than in the U.S. In fact, not to get off on the rabbit trail too much here, I was at a restaurant. There were a couple from California that just got here, and I was striking up a conversation with them. You can tell they were really guarded, and they've only been here a couple of days. And I guess they thought I was trying to help them because they didn't really know what they were doing. But they were just so guarded, and they didn't really want to talk. And I should have told them it's okay that you can talk to strangers here, but I didn't. But,
yeah, this happens to me all the time. I always try and help anybody I see that has a map open and they're staring at it, trying to get, where's north and what, and I always stop and say, can I help you find something on the map? And I'd say maybe 80% of the people will say, yeah, sure, and mostly Europeans, but North Americans and stuff, they go, no, we're fine. Right. And they don't even think about it. It's like, no, we're fine. They don't want to be, in contact with somebody they don't know. And it's a shame because they say, okay, I was just trying to help, and I turn around and walk away. Right. But, as a whole, though, with Thai people, as you know, you can be sitting next to somebody eating and turn around and talk to them and say something, and you got a smile, and they'll talk to you, and that's sort of refreshing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I'll be back in Idaho in about a week. I'll miss that for sure. I'll miss being able to talk to strangers. And just hearing people just laugh, just out of the blue, and even the maids at our hotel. I mean, they're just laughing their butts off all the time. They're happy people here generally, even though most live in a lifestyle not equal to the U.S. But we seem to be a lot less happy people than Thai people, and it's kind of sad. I don't know if it's because we rely on materials too much, or it's just the culture. I'm not sure what that is.
We're definitely a less social culture back home.
Right.
The social interaction here is really big, either with co-workers, or every weekend there's some kind of event or festival or something, and they have the same products, the same everything, the same food, the same food stalls, but people gather to be with other people, and it's a really big thing over here, and so we're really missing that back home. We live sort of an isolated life. How about the cost of things in general? To get a decent meal, not a high-end meal in a fancy restaurant, but a meal that you feel comfortable in the environment and with the food you're eating.
The cost is definitely cheaper. I mean, I can eat street food, which I highly recommend. I know you recommend it as well. It's very clean. You can eat for $1 or $1.50. You can have your dinner. If you want to go into a restaurant, I don't think I've ever paid more than $3 or $3.50 for a meal. With a couple of beers, maybe $7 or something like that.
Our first meal when we talked, we were actually in a restaurant that was air-conditioned. We sat in seats that were like couches in the living room. And what did we end up paying for that meal? I forget what it was. It was about
$3.20 each or something.
Yeah, it was less than $10.
Right.
And so that's an example. And I think they had chicken cordon bleu on the menu for $6, I think it was, something like that.
Right.
Yeah, and so.
And can I tell you about my house hunting?
Yeah. Tell us about your house hunting.
Okay. We were talking about costs. I was looking at houses for rent a few days ago, and the same house, same quality, size, whatever, amenities, house that I have in northern Idaho, I can rent here for a third of the cost.
For a third, 30%.
Third.
Wow.
Yes. So that's an option. I mean, I'm thinking of selling assets. Moving here. I'm 44 now. In a year.
Great age to retire.
It's the same age as you, right?
Great age to retire.
There's something in the air when it comes to that, I guess.
Yeah. Well.
But no, a third of the cost I can, and I can work a lot less. I can probably still run my business while I'm here.
Yeah, we've talked about that, and that's a great strategy. If anybody back home has a way to generate income, now remember, you only need to generate a third of the income to live basically the same style of living. And so maybe you can't generate 100% of the income, but if you can generate 30% of it and live over here and pull the money out of the ATM when you need it, that's a really great strategy, either through rental property or online business. And I'm going to try and help people to create online businesses. I'm going to give them a step-by-step way to do that. And so that's a great option. And so you have basically an online business.
I do.
Go ahead and tell people what your business is. Maybe you can generate some more money.
Well, I sell logo T-shirts, logo caps, coffee mugs, pins, etc. What I fear about the U.S. is that, and you and I have agreement on this, is that people in the U.S. think that we've hit rock bottom, but I think that rock bottom is ahead of us.
Oh yeah,
I do.
It's going to get a lot worse and a lot scarier.
I think so. And most of the people I talk with, they say things just have to get better, but they never have a plan on why it could get better. I think we're going to hit bottom, and it might be a rough landing. And so I'm looking at a way. I may just say, heck, I'm getting out of here. And I'm, like you say in your videos, there's always an option. I'm here looking at options. And if it's Thailand or somewhere else, I wanted to stay here about a month. I know it's not really long enough, but I've done a few tourist things, but I'm trying to do things that Thai people do as well.
But after a month, you sort of get the feel of what it would be like living here on a day-to-day basis. That you do have to find something to occupy your time. You can only do the tourist stuff so long, or sit by yourself so long, so you really need something to occupy your time. And that's why if you can do some kind of business, I don't suggest doing a business here with a company and employees and all that, because it's really difficult. But to generate online business, I think it's a really good thing because it gives you a reason to wake up in the morning. Another thing we were just talking about, I want to touch on just for a moment, is that the writing's on the wall that people are fleeing. Because one of the things with the Hire Act that was passed to help create more employment in the U.S., there was a bill that was passed called the Hire Act, and it's going to cost the government a lot of money. So they said, well, how can we help pay for these benefits that we're going to institute? And what they did is they're imposing a tax, a 30% tax, so to speak, and it's not really a tax. I'll explain it. What happens is you want to take money out of the country, anybody who's removing money from the United States is going to get a 30% deduction of that money. And it's going to go to the IRS, and they're going to hold it until you prove that you already paid tax on it. And this is coming into effect January 1st. So for them to say, well, this is a big amount of money we can, look at, means that there's a lot of people doing it. To me, I mean, if it all of a sudden came up on their radar that we need to pay attention to all this money moving, it means that people are moving a lot of money out, which probably means they're moving with it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Or the possibility of them moving with it. So that's something to keep in mind. That if you leave the United States, it's not like you're alone. You know what I mean?
I want to touch on that a little bit, and maybe you have a different opinion on this. Maybe buying gold bullion. Moving out that way is a smart way to do it.
Well, again, it's going to be first. And there's two things actually that are happening. First of all, you're going to end up with a 30%. They're going to get to you for 30% of it. Any institution that houses or takes that money abroad, some banks and stuff don't comply, and they hold back. Well, what the United States government now is doing is saying that any institution worldwide that has any assets in America, if they don't comply, they're going to lose their 30% of all those assets.
Right. Okay.
So this is how they're holding these people over a barrel to report these kinds of transactions.
Okay.
So it's going to be really hard after January 1st to get any kind of assets out of the country.
So get over here now,
or
right?
anything else. Yeah.
It's a lot of pressure.
It's a really interesting dynamic that's happening.
Right.
So. Anyway, so overall, tell me about how you felt about this, because you're going to be leaving before too long. And for everybody watching, is this something you could recommend somebody doing, either to try it out or to make a move and live over here? What do you think?
I would say it's definitely an option to come here. Like I said earlier, it's not better or worse. It's different, but some things are better. Some things maybe I don't like quite as much. But overall, I mean, this is an option for a lot of people.
And somebody could live on less money.
Less money and with a better lifestyle.
A better lifestyle.
I probably don't need to say this, but the women here are many beautiful women here.
Yeah, and women are very, very
friendly,
beautiful, nice, friendly,
they're
approachable.
Absolutely.
Approachable.
Mm-hmm. No, it's.
How about the language? That was a challenge,
it's a pain in the ass, yes.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass. And I actually just went, education visa is an option for somebody that's not 50. And I just went and talked yesterday to a school, and I'm going to do a video about this, about the education visa, what it's going to take to get it, what you're going to have to do, but it will help people out as well, because you learn Thai along with your visa, you got to learn Thai. So it's a good thing, and it's not that expensive comparatively. So we're going to talk about that, and that would help out a lot.
Right. Yeah, that's. If I were to move here before 50, education visa would be the way to go. Overall, though, Chiang Mai is really nice. There's a lot to see here. I get bored really, really easy. I'm like the world's worst. There's always something to do here. Always something, a festival, a market to go to, or just getting a foot massage, drinking a beer, and watching the traffic go by, watch people walk by.
Yeah. It's entertaining for sure. It's different.
You get a Thai massage or foot massage for $5 or $7 per hour or something like that. And you can do a massage every single day, and it's healthy.
It's healthy. It's healthy.
I guess I want to. I don't know where this is going, membership or not, but you were talking cost earlier, and I don't mind sharing this. When I was in Bangkok, I went to the hospital to get some tests done.
Yeah, go ahead and talk about that.
I pay my own insurance at home, self-employed, and it's many people, including myself, it's hard to afford health care, so you get tests put off.
Yeah, yeah.
So I made a point I went to the hospital. I got several. I got blood tests. Tests you do when you're 40, man tests, et cetera, et cetera. I saw a total of 3 doctors. I was in the hospital for 4 hours. I just walked in. Everything's good, but now I know that things are good.
It makes you feel a lot better, doesn't it?
Exactly.
And that's what we need, is peace of mind.
Exactly.
And so, that's the thing about living over here, where you know you're going to pay your bills. It's peace of mind. Knowing that you can know that you're healthy, that's peace of mind. You can't put a price on that.
Yeah.
But if you did put a price on it, it was cheap, right?
It was. Yeah, like I saw 3 doctors over a period of 4 hours. One doctor spoke with me for 60 minutes.
Wow.
60.
Unheard of.
He didn't look at his watch one
Unheard
time.
of.
Unheard of. Total cost, I guess it's irrelevant, but anyways, it's less than $500 for all these tests.
Amazing.
Amazing, absolutely. So I was pleased with that. I understand if I would have had the same test done in Chiang Mai, it probably would have been even cheaper.
Yeah.
But
that's okay. You still a big savings.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that was very positive. Healthcare is a big thing for people that are retiring, or not even retiring. I mean, if you're not being taken care of, then health is all you have. You don't have anything else.
That's right. Without health, it doesn't matter where you're at.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, I want to thank you for being a member of the membership site. It's great to have you in there, and we'll continue to communicate after you leave.
Yeah, look forward to it.
Thank you for at least we had some kind of something good looking in our shot here. She's very pleasant and nice smile, and yeah, poop mate. No, she doesn't want to speak. I asked her if she wanted to speak. She doesn't want to speak. I don't blame you, But anyway, again, Dave, thanks for talking with me, and thanks for hanging out. I've been sort of busy because the membership site just got launched, so I didn't get a lot of time to spend with you. But the time we did meet up, it was fun. It was nice talking and sharing ideas and stuff. So again, best of luck, and I hope to see you back over here. And for everybody watching, you want to say it with me? Remember, there's always an option. That's right. All right. Thanks again, Dave.
Thank you.
JC out.